Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 132, By the Skin of Your Teeth. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host and lovable Dungeon Master, Michael Gorley, and with me tonight is Lee. Lee, tell us who you will be playing.
Wow, I was not expecting to go first, sorry.
Gotcha.
G'day everybody, my name is Lee, and I will be playing the Kenku Rogue Distant Bells.
Yes, indeed. He is on a big old bridge, and he's about to have some fun. And also about to have some fun is Riley. Riley, tell us who you will be playing.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm playing Athora Greyfield, a tiefling fighter who has a pet cat.
She does. Meow. Pet cat who I believe is named Katra. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep, and is definitely with you right now. And also with us right now is James. James, tell us who you will be playing.
Hey, I am James. I am playing Penton Shellis, a spell scale sorcerer who also has a pet, but it's not a cat.
It does indeed, but it is a bird, so perhaps they'll have some fun adventures together.
Oh, you never know.
And last but certainly not least is, I accidentally, on my notes, I put Tix Birchmanson, and then for your name, I put Tix. So Tix is playing Tix. No, is Dare. Dare, tell us who you will be playing.
Hello, everyone. I am Dare, and I am playing Tix Birchmanson, your big, shiny paladin who is only 3'7".
3 foot of righteous justice. And speaking of justice, when we last left our players, they were seeking the second half of the Staff of Seraphim, believing it to be inside the oldest tomb in Kalimvor. They found out, however, that at some point, in some way, the monk Taka had used the Staff of Seraphim and done something to the necropolis. It is now vast, larger than the Grand Canyon, stretching out as far as the eye can see, and all sorts of interesting things inside as well. Most importantly, they, from the cultist, found out the name of their nameless adversary. This entire Chafing Armor campaign, they have not known the creature that they faced who is opposing the gods of the Staff of Seraphim. That is Faluzure. Faluzure is a necromantic dragon god opposed to Bahamut. And in fact, doesn't even like Tiamat. How about that? That you know that if you're like, I hate you too, Tiamat, that you're pretty evil. Y'all have just found that out, and you have made your way into this tomb, looking for the second half of the Staff of Seraphim. You scouting ahead. The Kenku Rogue Distant Bells went out into a creaking bridge and found a figure whose face has been removed of skin, and a flapping thing of skin has flapped up to attack him. And y'all have also heard flapping from both sides as well. And I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Well, alrighty.
Alrighty then. So go ahead and make those rolls. By the way, Morezi, Izzy, will either not be on tonight or she may be late. She was doing art at Art Walk and sold, I believe, nearly out of her wonderful statues.
That's fantastic.
Congratulations, Izzy.
Yeah, it was amazing. I got to see people come and they would just go like, "Oh my goodness," and really gush over her amazing artwork. I'll try to share a link to that if I remember to in the show notes. But James, what did you get for Penton?
Penton got a 19.
A 19 for Penton, ready to go. And for Tix?
Tix got a lowly 4.
Tix with a 4. And Athora?
A 1.
Oh my
1.
goodness, Athora with a natural 1. Don't you have bonuses to your initiative?
I thought it was, since it was just a natural 1, I couldn't do anything.
No.
No, the automatic fail only applies to attack rolls.
Okay, then it's a 10. Then it's a 10.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you're pretty quick. So I was surprised, but that's good. So you got a 10.
Big difference.
And our speaking of quick, our nimble rogue. What did Distant Bells get?
17.
17 for Distant Bells, and I have another roll to make. That actually brings it to you first, Penton. Now, just to set the stage one more time, you are all on a bridge. There is a faint light from the room you originally came from. There is the bridge stretches off into darkness. You cannot see the other end. It is slowly swaying in a very slight breeze. The figure on the bridge is laying before Distant Bells, and the weird flapping skin thing is coming towards Distant Bells, and you do hear the sound of two others coming from each side, flanking you, one might say. And it is your turn.
All right. Are they all in sight at this point?
They are. You can see the other two now, though they are just coming into light. I cannot remember if y'all said you had a torch or not, since you all have some form of low light vision.
I think Tix was the only one with a torch.
Tix lit a torch.
Yes, you did light a torch. Okay, so Tix does have a torch, so you can see just at the edge of the torchlight the other two coming towards you.
So you might say they're about 40 feet away then.
I think that would be a very good thing to say, is that they're about 40 feet away.
I know my torches. In that case, dang, they're just out of range. Can I hold an action until they get closer?
You absolutely can.
That would be great. I'll be holding on to a Scorching Ray until they get, because they need to be within 30 feet of me to be able to target more than one. So I'm going to wait till they get a little closer, and then when they get in range, I will fire that off.
Well, they're on each side of the bridge, so
Plus, well, there's 3 total, right?
Yes, there are 3 total that you can see.
Right. So I'll just aim like the one ahead of us and one of the ones that's coming in from the side.
Perfect. And just again, a note: every part of this bridge that is not made of rope, it is tied together with rope. It is lashed together with rope. Every part of it is made of broken staffs of seraphim, of fake staffs of seraphim. So it is made of essentially wood. So it is wood and rope. Just an FYI. But you are holding that action. Y'all hear him whispering under his breath, and one hand begins to softly glow. And that will actually bring it to Distant Bells. This thing is coming right at you.
that noise is disturbing for a start.
It is very disturbing.
How does... Okay, I don't think tumble works this way, which is a bit of a shame. I was going to say, could I use my tumble to go through the square so I can end up on the other side of this thing in front of me without provoking an attack of opportunity? But I don't think that's how that works.
What do you plan on finishing adjacent?
I want, because it currently it's in front of me, and I want to get behind it, but I can't really go around it because we're on a bridge. So I need to pass.
It's flying though, right? Is it not flying?
Yes, it is flying. So you absolutely could, move under it.
Well, yeah, I just didn't want to know, like, potentially take an attack of opportunity if I didn't need to. Do I have any feats that can get me through that? No, I don't.
Yeah, you would take an attack of opportunity. Now, again, attacks of opportunity are straight attacks and not special attacks. But still, you would have to dodge versus that.
It's worth taking it because at least I can get not be between the magic slinger and our target. I'd rather have the target between me and the magic slinger. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the opportunity to try and just jump, like roll underneath this flapping thing. So
you do provoke an attack of opportunity, and he provokes a natural 1.
Oh.
So Oh, I got a 9. I got a 9. What is this next one gonna be?
Oh,
7.
97.
Now remember, everyone, my homebrew is if you roll a natural 1 during combat for an attack, and that includes attacks of opportunity, you roll the 100 decile dice. The closer you get to 100, the worse it gets. So, what I am going to allow is it is trying to attack you, but it has actually become entangled on the side of the bridge. So its little things are flapping out, but not all of them are sort of, like arm-like. Some of them are just flapping, and one of them actually wraps itself and creates an artificial lashing to the side of the bridge and does like a hui, and you will now have advantage on your attack.
excellent.
Nice.
By the way, if it had rolled a little bit worse, it could have literally killed itself. But you
been
and
nice.
it will also lose its next turn, getting itself unwrapped. Anything over 90 generally will also lose its turn in my homebrew. So, but you do. It's your turn.
Oh, okay. That was my. Okay.
So that was your movement.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Minor standard movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you choose to attack, you will have advantage.
I recommend attacking.
So this is like a flap of skin, right? Like it's just.
Well, it is a ball of skin, and as you go under it, and you see like little clumps of hair. You see little clumps of fur. And none of the skin is the same color. These are from different creatures. That is all sort of writhing about, and it is absolutely questing for you.
What sort of size are we talking about here?
The size of the
Like overall, when it's a ball form, are we talking like basketball?
It's bigger than a basketball. It's about 4 feet across. But the center might be as big as like a beach ball, but it's like undulating as all of these flaps of skin are moving around. And it is absolutely flying. It is not like just, supporting itself in any way.
So it's not going to fit in a sack.
No, it would definitely not fit in a sack.
Not with a lot of tucking.
I don't really want to be sitting around tucking this thing into a bag.
Hold on a minute, everyone.
Yeah, just wait a second. Anybody got any ice spells? You can freeze it. So it's got itself entangled in the side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Go with me on this one. Is it possible to make sure it stays that way, like tied in a knot with a successful grapple?
Yeah, you could grab hold of that flap of skin, and you could, as your action, try to tie it more firmly to it. You don't know what touching this thing will do, but that's your call. You would have advantage on that.
You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a try.
Okay. All right. Give me that advantage. Double roll.
Okay. First roll is 17. Next roll is 18.
18 will hit. And you needed to roll better than average better than just its armor class in order to succeed.
Oh, wait. That's with it. That was just a flat dice. I didn't put my grapple check on. So yeah, 18, 25.
Okay. You reach down and you grab one end of it and you stuff it under the other and do like a yoink. And the skin is unsettlingly supple, like soft leather.
Like
Yes.
dough.
And it is incredibly unpleasant to touch, but it does not harm you. It is not like acid or instant necrotic damage or something like that, which it certainly could have been. but it doesn't.
Can I use rope check to make sure that rope is going to or that knot is going to stay?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a rope check, and that will help determine how difficult it is for it to escape.
It's a pity criticals don't work on skills. That was a nat 20, so 25.
25.
Another 25.
Just really, I mean, this is just so. It's one of those things where in combat, you don't even think about these things. You just do it. Like your character didn't consider. You're just like, I see this opportunity, I'm going to do it, and you just boom, 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 and you just. It's almost like a child's knot, like the kind you'd put in a shoe, but with a cinch at the end. And by the way, guys, because it's flying forward where you were, you realize that ball is actually not really there. Like, it is pretty much just wingspan. It is pretty much just imagine like a manta ray, but no middle, just the arms. And as the wings go out, it just spreads out into flapping skin. And it's just, and it's just like furiously flapping, trying to undo itself, but it cannot at the moment. You have successfully done so. And unless you're going to do anything else, that will end your turn.
That's my turn.
Okay. That will actually bring it to Athora. Just so y'all know, you do have the ability to move past other people on the bridge, but just also know that will matter in regards to attacks and such. If you're ahead of the other person.
And try not to run on this bridge.
Yeah, might not want to. So the one that is now knotted down, Athora, is about 20 feet from you. The other ones are both about 40 feet away and are closing in.
So would we say that if without running, technically our speed on this bridge should be halved?
Well, your normal movement speed doesn't require you to run.
Okay.
That's just moving, as they used to say, walking with purpose. Your run is your doubling of your movement speed.
I guess I can walk 30 feet in 6 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, none of these things really make sense.
Well, yeah, but I mean, one round is technically 6 seconds, so it makes sense.
Right.
But...
Right. So, Athora, what would you like to do?
So, can I prepare an attack and move towards them?
Yeah. I mean, you can absolutely do that. I mean, you can. Your movement speed is 20, isn't it?
It's 30.
Yeah. So you can. If you wish to engage with the one on the bridge, you absolutely can this turn.
Oh, then I'll do that.
Okay. And I assume you're attacking with your new sword.
Yep.
Okay.
That'll be a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
12 points of damage.
12 points of damage as you slice into the one in the front, and you see the skin just vibrates and undulates like a sea anemone that's been touched. It just wraps up inside itself and pulls back, and it's just furiously trying to pull at where you've tied it, Distant Bells, but it cannot get loose. And you have a second attack. My apologies.
Or should I say, flap-footed.
Oh, very good, very
Natural
good.
20.
Distant Bells throws himself off the bridge.
Nat 20. Ooh.
Natural 20. All right. Roll that damage and double everything.
13 points of damage.
So you literally cut it in half. Like, not an exaggeration. You cut it in half. Now, the downside is the part that's still moving is now free from what you did, Distant Bells. But it is massively reduced in its size, and it is like barely flying. It is like shuddering and jittering, and kind of like slowly kind of raising itself higher.
Cool. Now we've got 4.
Well, the part that is still attached just falls dead, inanimate to the ground or to the side. To the skins. So this skin is facing you, Athora. So it is going to reach out to you with its jittering arms. Will a 17 hit?
No.
No. So you feel it like against your armor, and there's a moment where it brushes against your neck, and you feel this just horribly unpleasant pulling sensation. But then you jerk back with your combat reflexes, and it cannot. But now the other two are coming in. James, high or low?
Yes.
High or low?
High.
Okay, this one is coming right towards you.
Okay, but first, when they get within 30 feet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It is now well within. It has a flight speed of 40, which is not giving anything away because it's able to engage with you. So as it comes closer, they are both coming towards you.
Okay.
One from the left and one from the right.
I am going to do a super classy disco maneuver and just thrust my hand into the air and shoot one in opposite directions at one of both of them. Scorching rays.
Okay.
Oh, good. Penton Wick.
All right, so that'll be an attack to... Let me make sure I got my number right. Yes. All right. First one is 20 to hit.
That will hit.
And the other is 21 to hit.
Wow. So please roll that damage for me.
All right, so it's going to be 46 damage, 14 points of damage.
14 to each of them. So y'all see as these two things are closing in to attack, you've been kind of muttering to yourself, and your hand is starting to glow, and then your other hand starts to glow. And if the camera had zoomed out suddenly, just these two gouts of flame shoot out either side as they close in on you, and you bathe them both in fire. You are definitely sure they are not immune to fire.
I kind of figured they wouldn't be.
That is a 21. Will that hit?
Actually, yes.
Okay. Actually, it was higher than 21. But the other one rolls a 3, even with his bonus, so that does not. Okay, so first of all,
I feel like I'm not going to like this.
you are not going to like this. So you do take 6 points of necrotic damage. It actually rolled very low.
Am I grappled or something?
So you are not grappled.
Okay.
But what happens is it latches on to your arm, the arm that was holding out and bathing it with fire. One of the little ropes of skin comes in underneath, and you all watch in horror as the forearm skin of Pinton sloughs off onto the creature.
No.
And y'all now see... You now see a fluttering tendril of glittering dragon scale skin fluttering on that creature. And Penton, your charisma, I believe a rather important skill for you, a tribute for you, has been reduced by 2.
Ow.
But the second one did miss, so that's good. It flinched back more for the flame attack. And that will bring it to Tix.
Penton looks super freaked out right now.
Yeah, your forearm no longer has skin on it, on your left arm. And it is just sort of oozing blood. Not quite as much as you would think, but it is not great.
Seeing Tix, or seeing Penton is in pain and suffering, Tix will get ready to help him out. But first he's going to cast Command at the one that's attacking Penton and command it to come, and it's a will saving throw to make.
Okay.
So 7.
27. It fails. And so is this the one that successfully attacked him?
Yeah.
Okay. So it stops attacking you, Penton, and begins to move towards you, Tix.
Okay.
As it does so.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Well, first of all, by commanding it to do so, it provokes an attack of opportunity with Penton.
Yes, for anybody it passes.
Which would just be Penton. But yes, it would be Penton. It has to pass by Penton in order to come to you. And so you may make a staff attack now, Penton, if you wish. I'm guessing that you wish.
Yeah, it was only an 11 though.
Unfortunately, that does not hit. Probably it might be because the skin is missing on your arm and it's throwing you off a little bit. I don't know.
A wee bit.
But it is now coming towards you, Tix.
Okay.
Do you want to move any or just let it come towards you?
I'm going to let it come towards me. I am going to swing with Destinies.
Okay, so you are you able to cast command as a bonus action?
I have 2 attacks, so I have 2 actions.
You have 2 attacks. Sorry, I forgot you had 2 attacks. Yes, you do have 2 attacks. So yes, swing away.
Swing away with Destiny Seeker. That is
23. It hits, and these things are not immune to necrotic damage.
Okay. Is it
I
more
know
than
that.
halfway through its hit points?
It most certainly is.
That is 16 points of damage.
16 points of damage. So describe to me, Tix, what it looks like when this thing who has some of Penton's skin on it comes flapping towards you under its command. How you destroy it with Destiny Seeker.
Standing up as the bright and shiny paladin of Garl Glittergold, first casts command to draw it towards him, getting it off with his friend Pent, and then loosens Destiny Seeker from its hold, its scabbard on his hip, swings with an upward chop straight through its middle, dividing it in half.
And y'all, there's a moment, Penton, where you just see the sword fling down, and then it just splits in half, and the 2 halves flutter down into the darkness and are seen no more.
My forearm!
Your forearm is gone. And also, speaking of which, that actually brings it to your turn, Penton, since you had held your turn before.
Okay. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to not get touched again by one of these things.
One of them is attacking you currently.
Right. And I think my best bet, since it's flying around and I don't have much in the way of physical attacks, unless I do something stupid, I'm going to send off a group of magic missiles at it.
Okay.
Make sure I've got my number of magic missiles correct. Okay, so 4. All right. So 4 missiles are going to be sent off to that thing. 12 points of damage. No, wait, no, I'm sorry. 16 points of damage.
16. So, describe to me what it looks like when you destroy this second flapping thing, still smoldering from your scorching, blazing hands. What it looks like when you kill it with magic missile.
I would say as each one impacts, it just disintegrates a section of it. So it just take out a quarter of it at each shot. It's just like it's exploding in parts until it's just disintegrated.
Yes. So you strike with that, and as you hit it with one, it blows apart. You hit it with the other, it blows apart. You hit it with the other, and it blows apart, and then it just flutters to the ground. I say to the ground, into the depths below. Some of it falling onto the staff-laden floor with a...
Step on it and squelch it.
Yeah, it's slightly quivering, and you just squash it. And that will bring it to Distant Bells. Distant Bells, there is the one you originally tied, who was bisected by Athora. There is a pathetic, fluttering bit left that is still trying to reach for Athora.
Well, I guess we'd better stop that. I am going to... Let's just stab the crap out of it.
Okay.
Roll to hit. That is a... What is that? The paint's come off my dice. 17.
17. That will hit.
Okay. And that is... Paint's fine on the d6. That's a 5. And my second attack is a nat 20. I hate these dice. So with my nat 20, I got 2 damage. Because I rolled a 1, so I have to double it, so I got 2. Cool!
Yep.
Thanks!
Y'all heard my 2? Or what was it? Because you do double everything with a natural 20, including your damage bonus. In my rules.
Oh, I'm also using finesse, so It uses my dex modifier, so okay. So that's 10, so that's 12 damage.
Yes. It had 1 hit point left. That's why I was describing it as feebly fluttering about. You tell me how you take out this last little thing. Is it's just fluttering up to Athora's neck, trying to get to her skin.
I am going to... Here's what's going to happen. In a very smooth, fluid movement, Bells is going to, with his first attack, skewer it, and his second attack, spin, pull his pack off his back, and while spinning around and taking it off so no one can see, he gives the pack a slight pat. Turning around, again, with the second attack, he stabs through it and puts the skin into the pack, pulls his blade out, closes the pack up, and slings it back onto his back. And then faces the rest of the party, ready for another round.
With the natural 20, I will allow that. As y'all see this blur of motion, the pack opens up and swallows it up. And it is now the corpse, if you want to call it that, of this skin creature is now in your backpack.
Cool, I will add lump of skin to my backpack. Hey guys, we might have use for this at some point.
Yep. And combat is now over. There is the corpse that you had originally discovered. And there is also the fact that Penton is missing some parts.
Yeah, Penton is just like kneeling on the bridge, just staring at his forearm, just like in shock, sort of.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Tix will rush over to him and cast Lesser Restoration to restore the skin, and then we'll cast Cure Light Wounds to restore his hit point.
Okay. Well, Lesser Restoration is exactly what you needed, because that is what actually, like you said, repairs the skin. The skin literally grows back. There's a moment of shimmering gold, and for a moment, Penton, you can see a hallway filled with gems stretching off to an eternity as your skin glows gold for just a moment, and then it comes back, and it's very pink and tender right there, but it is grown back.
I was going to say, does that return my charisma points, or are those gone for now?
It does. No, it does. That's how that restoration works.
Penton looks at Tix gratefully, like painfully gratefully. Thank you.
Anything for you, buddy.
Yes, that's how sorcerer, everybody, can shrug off the most of blows unless it affects how good he looks.
Right.
I have to share with y'all, when I was a child, one of my cats would wander. This was back when we would let them do that. And it had a tendency to mess with a neighborhood dog. And it would put its paw underneath the fence and like play with it. And we don't know the exact circumstances, but it seems like one day the dog just went wham and put its paw down on my cat's paw. And so my cat ripped back, and it literally pulled the skin off the cat's top of its paw and arm.
I was about to say it degloved the cat. I was going to say no.
Yeah, it was just literally like a flap. I never saw it, by the way. Thankfully, my mother did not let me see that. But it spent quite a while in a cast as its arm healed. Lived a very long time after that. So just. Yeah.
I disagree. I don't feel like you did need to share that story.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have some worse ones I can share. No, I will not.
I have some.
Well, you're welcome to share.
Podcast.
Okay, we'll save that for the next one. That's the bonus content that y'all come in for being their Patreon supporters. Is the really gross stories. But what would y'all like to do now?
Does anybody else need healing? Everybody else good? Let's get across this bridge real quick.
That's a good plan.
Bells continues on his scout. staying just ahead of 30 feet ahead of the leader, doing his usual thing that he was doing before this all happened.
Anyone else want to do anything?
Get the heck off the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, gonna be heading off the bridge as quick as possible, bringing up the rear. I assume that Athora is right behind Distant Bells, and middle, Berezi is lost somewhere in the dark.
Yes. Well, Merezi is still somewhat dead. If y'all recall, when the Necromancer tried to teleport Merezi back to y'all, Merezi died a little bit. And she assured you that she would be able to rectify the situation, but has not yet. So Merezi is still not with y'all. You, first of all, I would like you to make a spot check for me, Distant Bells.
Okay.
And I would also like you to make a check for traps.
Ooh, okay. Well, my spot check was 28.
Mm-hmm.
And is said trap over DC 20? Because I have trap finding, so if the trap is over DC 20, the search skill finds it.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'll just let me do a search check anyway. Okay, that's a 21.
21. Okay. As far as you can tell, there are no traps. But you are. We agreed before that in this place, your character would be searching constantly.
Pretty much, yeah. His head would be on a swivel, and being a bird, it can pretty much almost actually be on a swivel.
It's true. Thora, you once again suddenly realize that your cat is missing.
Uh-oh.
And I would like you to make a spot check for me.
It's just eating some skin on the bridge somewhere.
8.
8. So you do not you look around and you cannot see where it is, and then suddenly in front of you, just almost out of a shadow, which is weird because you're on a bridge, the cat comes and it's got something in its mouth. It has a little bottle in its mouth.
Oh.
What?
Yep.
I see if will the cat let me take it?
It will. It does kind of like not want to let go at first, but then it does.
From off in the distance, from off in the distance, you hear sending out an SOS, sending out an SOS.
Well,
If you got that, you're just as old as I am.
Yep. That's right.
The truth is that is exactly what this is. It is a message in a bottle.
Great.
It is a small bottle. It's the kind of bottle that y'all recognize. Normally, you would put like a potion of effect, like a healing potion, that kind of thing, would go in a bottle of about this size, and there is a message inside of it.
All right. Can I read it once I pull it out?
Yeah, you pull it out. It is actually slightly damp and it's slightly moldy.
Well, it's been in a cat's mouth, so.
Well, this part hasn't. But you actually think that maybe somebody drank the contents and then put this inside of it. You look at the message, and it is a message from a Finley Brine. Finley Brine. Finley has been captured by pirates.
Ooh.
And is being held captive on a pirate vessel in the Sand Swallow Sea, and is asking for assistance. If someone could help him, that he needs help. And I would like you to make a straight knowledge roll for me, which is just your roll plus any intelligence.
9.
9? So there's something odd about this message, but you don't know what it is.
I'm going to guess the odd part is that it's from a guy on a ship and it's in the middle of a graveyard on a bridge.
That is definitely an odd thing. Yes. That Finley is asking for help, and, you're on a weird bridge in the middle of nowhere. But the cat just looks at you, meow, and walks along with you. And y'all slowly make your way creaking and cracking across this bridge. You are not attacked by anything else. And you make your way to where you begin to see light in the distance that seems to be another opening leaving the bridge area.
Athora, I think you have a cat that fetches side quests.
Quick, throw it off the bridge. We don't need any more side quests.
Did I mention the constant glowing question mark on top of the cat? I think I can't.
Oh God! Oh God! Please.
Flashback.
No matter what you do, you can't make it go away.
Never ever.
So the glowing...
The cast of Chafing Animal would like to apologize for any recovering WoW addicts out there.
Yeah, myself most of all. But yeah, you can see light from a entrance. Several. You can't make out exactly what it is, but the light you could see further from your torchlight, which is 40 feet away. But this is more like probably 100 feet away.
Aphil is fluttering around in here with me. Yes.
Oh yes, Aphil is with you.
Okay. I'm going to have Aphil fly ahead a bit and kind of scope out what's going on up there.
Okay. I would like you to make.
Guess I'll die then.
A spot check. Well, you're not there yet. You're ahead of everybody until Aphil flies ahead.
Right. Let me make sure I got his spot number, not mine, because mine sucks. All right. 21.
21. Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, Aphil just you hear the frustrating fluttering of wings, distant bells, as Aphil passes you by,
Sorry.
maybe doing like a little loop-de-loop, showing off a little bit, like this is so easy.
Bells kind of turns and looks at Penton and just like
Penton shrugs.
You hear very clearly. Suddenly, Aphil stops and comes flying back towards you and goes, "Bones, bones, wedding bones, wedding bones."
Wedding bones?
Yep. I don't know how else to put it. There's wedding bones.
Oh no! Are you serious? Okay, I can't know this. But I know what it is. Wedding bone. That's weird. She says there's wedding bones ahead?
Wedding bones.
I don't know what that means.
Leftover cake.
Bells kind of sighs and says, "For the last time, it's distant bells, not screams at weddings."
No, I just said wedding bones. Wedding bones. There's something ahead that's weird. Something that has to do with bones and weddings, I guess. I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll find out.
Does anybody want to go first?
I mean, I'm going. It's my job. Well, it was until Aphil got involved.
Lee, as a side note, you know it's coming, right?
Me? No, I haven't got a clue.
Okay. Well, it'll all coming flooding back in a moment.
But yeah, I will. Bells will scout ahead. He's going to be extra careful because, despite the fact that he's annoyed, it was a warning, and it's still not something he's just going to brazenly walk out into, because aside from the fact that's not who he is, it's also not a good idea in general in a place you don't know.
True.
So yeah, he's going to sneak forward and try and catch sight of whatever it is this bird is talking about.
Okay. And the bird doesn't really want to go back first, so you pass Aphil by, fluttering past you, and you sneak your way up, and there's a point where the bridge is staked into stone. You can make out a vast wall that is stretching both up and down out of torchlight vision. There is a hole opening, and you peer inside. I would like you to make a hide check for me.
Can I just take 10 on this? I'm going to win. Yeah, okay. I have a 13 to hide, so 26.
26. Okay. So
sorry, 27. My math is awful.
You peek inside and you see several things. You see, first of all, clearly what this bird was referring to is there is a wedding arch in the front. And the wedding arch, and like as if you were the bride walking in, there is a huge arch made of bone, covering, going from over it. You would have to walk through the arch of bone in order to. But that is not all. Inside is a huge chamber, the kind of place that you would associate with like where a king would have a great reception. Like
oh God, no, not this place.
No, it came flooding back, didn't it?
Oh no.
And
Of course, Bells can't know this, but yeah, okay, James, thanks.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Now, eagle-eared listeners will remember the adventure of Cackle and Taka, where they faced King Midge. King Midge, who actually had the other half of the Staff of Seraphim and was performing unimaginable feats of power with just the tiniest wave of this half of a staff. And there is somewhat of a recreation of that in this room, in that in the center, there is a huge bone recreation of King Midge. And there it is holding a staff of Seraphim, but the staff is made out of bone. Surrounding King Midge on the dais that it is on, this bone sculpture of this big fat goblin, which is weird that you'd have a fat goblin that's made out of bone, but the way it's been made is perfect.
That is weird.
There are 4 little pedestals around him. And just so y'all know, obviously none of the characters do, but those weren't there in the original. And y'all recognize this in general, is that is the sort of place that you would bring gifts at a wedding, are surrounding this King Midge. And down below King Midge, cowering, it's an amazing sculpture. Cowering is a dwarf, a male dwarf. And like the bones are tiny, intricate bones making up his beard. And he is wearing a wedding dress. And he's cowering before this King Midge. Which certain, again, eagle-eyed listeners would know as High Thane Bernard.
Oh God, it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, yep. Nothing happened.
All right. Bells will. Okay, Bells will go back to the rest of the group, who I'm going to assume are now at the end of the bridge this time. By now, and will do his best with the wide range and cacophony of sounds and voices he has in his repertoire to explain what he just saw.
And explaining perfect bone sculptures of a big fat goblin with a staff of Seraphim, also made out of bone.
Oh, it's a cacophony of weird sounds and voices of all kinds. There's different languages in there too, since some of the words aren't in common, but have to be in different languages, and he's kind of trying to pick languages he knows that some of the party members can understand so that they can translate for the rest. It's a mess, but he does his best.
A 6-year-old trying to tell a story.
Yeah, pretty much. Except it doesn't change topic 700 times throughout and end with Superman.
This I've got to see. I'm not sure what I'm about to see, but I got to see it.
He will also say that he didn't see anything in there, but caution is still advised.
Of course.
You walk in, and the moment you walk in, there is a flash of light from the bones, the archway, as you walk in, Panta. And your robe is gone.
fun. Nick.
And you are no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We already did that with Penton. We already did that episodes and episodes ago.
Not that Penton minds. I mean, it just makes him stronger. It's something else he doesn't own.
Spirit. That's right. That's right. His vow of poverty. It makes him even more powerful.
No, where the O comes from.
We always knew it shone out of your ass, Penton.
As your robe vanishes, the light, kind of almost like your own light when you activate it, kind of fades back down, and as it does, you are wearing a white wedding dress.
Oh no!
And the statue of King Bernard crumbles to dust, and the bone statue of King Midge, and the eyes light up with a baleful blue glow.
Oh,
and
Lord.
It smiles and says, "My bride." And that's where we'll end Chafing Armor, episode 132.
Hey, Penton
Get ready,
Chalice,
everybody.
what have you done?
Congratulations.
Hey, Penton Chalice, who's the only one?
We'll get you a
So
link.
thank you.
Am I just going to keep reliving this scene until I've been every character?
Yep. That's the way this is going to be like. It's like the Snyder cut. It's like we just keep going back and redoing. That has to be that needs to be a D&D podcast. Is each episode is just replaying the Tomb of Horrors over and over again.
Oh, God.
With different characters. But thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you for not killing us.
Putting me in a dress.
Thank you. And at the next episode, I have a feeling we may have a certain edition coming up soon. But until then, we will roll with you soon.